Hey guys, it's Vintage Vinny, and I have another collective thrift store and antique store haul to share with you all today. Got a great amount of stuff to share with you all, and I'm looking forward to doing so. Stay tuned. So I had quite a few large items to share with you all, so I only shared them one at a time, so you'll see multiple clips of that. And then I go ahead and show you all the small stuff that I was able to fit all onto the table, and just wanted to give you a heads up on all of that. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to start off this video with some of the larger items that I've picked up. Got quite a few, and all of the stuff that I bought, including the small stuff, does not fit on this table. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the very first item right here. So what you're looking at is a really nice example of a 1930s mirror. This is actually something that hooked onto the back of a dresser. This is on both sides. This is where it would screw in on a mount. And this is what the back looks like. I knew this was much older. Now, this mirror is actually from the 1930s, as I stated before. There are tiny little nails that are holding the glass in place that, of course, are going to have to be either glued down or they're going to have to be redone, because as you can see, there's some cracking in the wood right here. Tons of nails. So that was really cool. There is no wire to hang it up on the wall, so I guess whoever had it in their house last must have used this piece of rope here. What really drew me to this mirror was the chipped up paint and the floral decals that are posted very evenly all throughout the mirror. Now, if I didn't say before, this cost me a whopping $8. Now, shipping something like this is not going to be easy, and I don't intend on doing so. I suggested to my dad, why not bring it to the shop and see if someone will pay $25–30 for it. But I don't know that it would really sell for that much, because I don't know. But it's definitely really, really nice for somebody who likes the rustic, shabby chic look. Now, this mirror, like I said, is from the 1930s, but I think in the 1950s, I guess times changed, styles changed, and I think they wanted to keep the mirror because it was a nice heavy-duty mirror, but they wanted to spice it up with modern times, quote-unquote. And they painted it this really light cream color and then added these decals to it. In terms of price, I'm thinking about putting this on eBay with a local pickup offer, so that way nobody has to worry about anything coming to them broken or anything like that. So anybody who's really into that shabby chic, rustic farmhouse look, I think would really, really love this. In terms of what I'm going to ask for it, I'm thinking $30 to $35 because there's no name on it, but it's a really nice piece anyway. From that same mall, I also got this 1989 Jim Henson's Muppet Babies children's video storage case. This thing is brand spanking new, it's never been used, it's all still in the original plastic. As you can see, the price in the corner was $15. This booth was 50% off, so I only paid $7.50. Looked it up on eBay, and a lot of them don't really go for that much, even new in the box. A lot of people were asking a lot for it, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get what they were asking. So, box has got some condition issues. I'm going to go ahead and send this into Amazon because there is a listing for it. I don't remember exactly what I sent it in for, and because there were none in stock, I wasn't able to see what the fees were going to be. I'm going to see when I go ahead and make a shipment for it. And funny enough, this actually came from Ollie's several years ago for $2.99. I forgot how old Ollie's is. If you guys don't know what they are, they're kind of like a discount store. Actually, they are a discount store. And what they do is they buy, I guess, overstock and things that didn't sell well in traditional stores. They buy stuff from Walmart, Target, Kohl's, any place that has stuff that's overstocked or just things that were not selling well in the stores. They buy and sell it at a cheaper price. I have one that's probably 15 minutes away from my house, and we didn't have one where I used to live. We used to have to travel about 30 minutes to get to the nearest one, but it's nice that we have one here in town. I've gotten really good stuff there. I don't necessarily need the things that I purchased there, but sometimes it's like, oh, I didn't know I needed that, and I'll take it. And sometimes they'll send me coupons for 15% off if you sign up for Ollie's Army. And they'll send you emails about stuff that's come in. They'll send you the coupons. Sometimes if you have your email inputted into their system, they'll send it to you through your email. So if you lose your physical coupon, you can hand them that. Or if you have a phone number, which I'm sure most of us do nowadays, they can input it that way as well. So yeah, this was really, really cool, and I think somebody who had this as a child will definitely love to have this. Another fun piece that I love to find with the specific holidays are the melted plastic popcorn art. I think somebody, I can't remember who it was, said that these were originally called glitter plaques. I have never owned the duck before, or at least this one specifically. This cost me $5. That is the most I would suggest any of you pay for these. I think anything above $5 is absolutely ridiculous. And I'll show you guys what the tag looks like. Now these do have a barcode, and I think these were made all the way up until probably the 90s. So dating them is kind of difficult. So they're made by the Cage Company in Manchester, Connecticut, made here in America, so this is good stuff. What's nice about these is that they're heavy-duty plastic, but thin and light, but they also can withstand heavy temperatures and, you know, nasty weather. They're not going to get ruined like paper would nowadays. Now, I normally don't show non-vintage items in my haul videos because my channel's name is Vintage Vinny, so I like to only show you guys the vintage stuff pre-1990, or maybe even now showing you all the stuff from the 90s, because now I'm technically considered vintage at 24. Anyway, so I'm digging through one of the bins that the employees were bringing out, and I was wondering what the heck this was when I pulled it out. If you guys can't see that logo right there, and I'll zoom in on it for you so you can see it better. Let's see if it'll focus for me. There we go. This is a Tommy Hilfiger store display. I don't know if the price is still on it because they write on the items with... Oh, here it is. If you can barely make that out, I paid $6 for it. What on earth was something like this doing in the thrift store? Now, I don't know how retailers like this work when you go to the outlets or if you go to a department store that sells this stuff. But what I think they do is maybe the company sends them new fixtures and displays every so often, and then I guess the company says either throw out the old stuff or employees can take it. So I'm assuming maybe an employee took this and I guess just got sick of looking at it, so they donated it. I did not see any of these on eBay at all. So either this is worth a lot of money in terms of maybe like 75 to 100 bucks, or I just completely wasted $6. Didn't do too much research. All I typed in on eBay was Tommy Hilfiger store display. A small little sign that goes on top of like a shelf or something sold for over $200. But that was just a little piece. In terms of shipping, this is probably going to cost an arm and a leg, but for whoever loves Tommy Hilfiger stuff, I'm sure they're going to love it. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I think this is a tie rack. Tie or socks. I'm leaning more towards the tie because of how the setup is of the piece itself, and it rotates. Very heavy duty, so I know this is a good quality piece. If you all have any idea on what this is worth, please let me know in the comments. It would be greatly appreciated. Okay, next rather larger item is something that I normally would not buy because I've never seen them for cheap. So when I saw this lamp here, I definitely had to pick it up. It was only $10. Overall, in very good condition. I was cleaning it up with a Clorox wipe, whether you all think that's smart or not. I noticed right here on this decorative piece here, it's been repaired, and horribly repaired, as it's probably just been hot glued. So what I think I'm going to end up doing with this is I'm going to probably crazy glue it. I can't remember if it's crazy glue or super glue that welds metal and ceramic together. I can't remember. I'll have to go look at it. But it's been glued there, it's been glued there, and it's been glued here. Now, it's a frosted pink. It's got clear glass right here, like bubbled hobnail style, and then solid, like a pink here as well. The shade is also frosted glass. I didn't think $10 was too much to ask. And here's what it looks like lit up. I think it's very cool. If that's a little bright, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's a really neat looking lamp. I think someone's gonna really enjoy it. If I didn't mention it to you all before, this does have a cloth cord, and I'm pleasantly surprised to see that it still works even after all these years. Now, in terms of the age, I'm not exactly sure. Frosted glass has been around forever, and they still make it today. Now, I'm thinking this is probably maybe I'm thinking anywhere from probably the 20s or the 30s, or maybe even possibly the 1940s. What I think I can get for it, I don't know because of that damage down here. I was thinking somewhere around the neighborhoods of maybe $60 to $75, but then again, that may just be wishful thinking. Okay, so you all know I don't really buy a lot of purses because, you know, that's not really my thing, but when I see them really cheap, I have to pick them up if they're in good condition. And that was the case with this. Never heard of this brand before at all, actually. Handbag Fashions by Tennessee. Tennessee Handbags Incorporated in Dandridge, Tennessee. Now, when I come home from all of my junking trips, my parents like to see what I have. I showed them this purse because I'd never seen it before. My dad's response to it was, Mrs. Brady called. She wants her purse back. Now, because this has a zip code on it, I know it's after 1963, but because of the tag color and like the font of everything, this is probably a early 70s bag. In case I didn't mention it, this was $2.50, so I thought that was really well worth picking up. It's in really, really good, clean condition. I thought, anyway. I don't know if this was originally, or if it's leather, or what it is. I haven't really looked. Oh, I like that too, what it says on the zipper. It says Tennessee on it. Inside still has paper in it, so I assume this probably sat in a closet for years and was just never ever used. I don't want to pull all that paper out because it's kind of disintegrated and falling apart. I didn't really see any handbags like this on eBay. If you all have sold this brand of vintage purses, please let me know in the comments what you think I can get for it, because as you can see, this is in phenomenal condition. The straps are clean. No rips, tears. It's still very, very soft. Whether it's patent leather or it's real leather, don't know. My mom would probably be able to tell me that. Alright, so instead of jumping from clip to clip, I've got a couple of items on the table. We're going to come back again in a few minutes, and I'm going to show you guys more stuff that I have in my bag. I don't want to just pull it out. I want it all on the table so that way I can just show it to you one by one. So on my way to this antique mall, I found a Goodwill. And unfortunately, they didn't open until noon on Sunday, so thankfully there was a Dollar General that I went to and just kind of killed time and bought a few things there. I only spent, I think it was probably $9 and some change on everything that I bought. Actually, no, it was probably more like $7. This is the first thing that caught my eye. This is brand new in the box. It's a pot of gold calendar bank. Not sure of the age. Red tags in their store were half off, so I only paid 50 cents for this. It's marked Hong Kong by the Gift Co. Company in Northfield, Illinois. So you put the coin in the pot of gold calendar bank, and the coin rolls down around the bank. It rolls from a hole to enter into the inside of the bank, and you turn the bottom to the left to stop the coins from falling inside. Never been used. I guess I'll go ahead and open it and show it to you all. Just a plastic generic piece. I did not see any of these on eBay at all. nor did I see them with the original box. So I thought for 50 cents this was really worth picking up. In terms of price, banks don't really go for a whole lot of money because, again, they're very abundant. There's a ton of them out there, a ton of a variety. I think the most I'll probably be able to get for this is probably $10, maybe 10, 12 bucks. That's mainly what I think I can get for this. Not bad for a 50-cent investment, I don't think. Now this piece is unmarked. It looks like Homer Laughlin Fiesta. Like I said, no markings. Paid 99 cents for it. Don't know exactly what I can get for it. Don't even know if it's old or not, because unmarked stuff you can just never tell. Thrifting 101 might know. Michelle, if you're watching, if you could give me any tips for this, that would be awesome. No cracks or chips. I knew it was Fiesta or something like it because of the shape and the style of the, I guess the creamer itself. So we will see what happens with that. So from that same antique mall that I got the mirror, the lamp, and that video cassette case, I found these. I've seen an Instagrammer by the name of Magpie Ethel. I'm sure you all have heard of her. She does a lot of estate sales. She does a lot of estate sales, meaning she goes out estate sailing. She gets some awesome vintage pieces that I've seen in antique shops for way more than what someone should spend on them. Anyway, so I saw one of these in her, not haul videos, like one of her, on Instagram, your haul basically is called your loot shoot. So I remember her saying she bought some of these at an estate sale. These are groovy 70s inflatable hangers. Dad seems to think these were probably a carnival prize, or maybe just something you buy at a novelty shop. As you can see on the bottom, 1970 by Dandy Imports in New York, made in Hong Kong. I did look these up just a few minutes ago, and don't go for a whole lot. I guess this is just another mass-produced novelty item. Brand new in the box. I only paid $1, so I thought those were very cool. Most recent one sold for $10. I think if I were to sell this, I'd probably do $9.99 and charge first-class shipping because these aren't very heavy. But I really liked those, and it reminded me of something that Magpie Ethel would have picked up, and she has had a few of these, and I remember seeing them on her Instagram posts. Now this is something that I was pleasantly surprised to see had all of the pieces in it. This is from 1990. It's the Lego Basic Tote Pack. It has an original Kmart sticker on it for $7.48. It's got a barcode on it, so it's not old, 1990, so that's about 29 years old. And as you can see, I paid $3. I did not look it up, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that all of the pieces were here. So I'm going to go ahead and look this up and see what I can get for it. More Goodwill pieces. These were bundled together. 2 for 99 cents, that's 50 cents each. More of the vintage zippers. These probably are from the 80s, judging by the fact that they have a barcode on them. They're made... I don't know where they're made, they don't say. Anyway, add these to my zipper stash for Pudgy Picker and her sister Kim like I usually do. This was rather interesting. It's a piece of jewelry. If you all know, I don't really buy jewelry to resell because I don't really know much about it. Like I've said in previous videos, that's more of Treasured Vintages thing. So this is an Aristocrat Floral piece of jewelry. It's bone china, made in England. I looked these up, and they don't really go for a whole lot. I paid $1. Just decided to take a chance for that price. And, you know, I'm thinking anywhere from $8 to $10 is what I can get for this because it's in the original box with the original plastic see-through cover. So we will see what happens. From the antique mall, same antique mall that I got the other stuff at, I picked up this bathroom fixture. Don't really know how old it is, because I know these were probably made for many, many years. I paid $2 for it. I think it's for toothbrushes and maybe a cup, or maybe a milk glass circle was supposed to go here. As you can see, it's got dirt and dust, and it's pretty darn disgusting. So before I sell it, I'm going to polish it up, clean it up, and again, I didn't really look this up to see what it was worth, but I think it was worth way more than the $2 I spent. Now this piece, I'm sure looks relatively familiar to you. This actually had a cork on it, and it would go onto a brown jug. Now, as you can see, the cork is long gone on it. And I actually broke 2 of these when I had the full pin-up jug, but I don't really care to have the jug anymore. But I was pleasantly surprised to find this, and I wasn't going to leave it behind because it's just something you could stick on a shelf and it'd just be a cool display piece. Now, I would not have paid $5 for it. There's no way. So when it went on sale to $2.50, I thought that was actually a pretty reasonable price for just a fun little figurine. So I said, what the heck? Alright, last piece for this clip. Paid $3.50 for the 2 of them, so that's $1.75. It's just 2 small packs of playing cards. This one is a Whitman Animal Rummy. And as you can see, Whitman. I really liked the art on these. Silly Goose, Funny Bunny, Woolly Lamb. I thought those were really cool, and I didn't think $1.75 was too much to ask. This booth was priced pretty decently. Some stuff was a little but I guess you gotta kind of have somewhat of a higher price to draw people in on some of your cooler items, I guess you can say. I like that it has the original price sticker on it for 23 cents. Don't know what the year is on those. They don't really have a way to date them. Western Publishing Company. And then this next deck is Old Maid. I might send that to Miss Stonehome for her crafty needs. But I like the Animal Rummy by Whitman. That's why I bought those. See if I can get these to come out so you guys can see what they look like. Yeah, just plain old cards. So yeah, that's that. So $3.50 for that bag. Not too bad. Alright, so let me get some more stuff out and I will be right back. Okay, so this is everything that I got while I was in town at one of the charity thrift stores, the Goodwill outlet, the Salvation Army, etc. So let's jump right into that stuff. So I picked this up for 80s Toy Hunter, and I knew she had to have this when I saw it. It's another one of those Care Bear mugs. I sent her one a while back that I found at my Goodwill for 99 cents, which was still a very good price, but to find one for $0.25, it's marked MCML XXXIV, which is probably 1983. These mugs don't really go for a whole lot of money. Again, another mass-produced piece, but I know that Jenny would really, really like this. Like I said, I sent her one before that was a little different, so I'm sure this one will really make her day. I hope. This piece I thought was really, really cool. Don't know much about it because there's no markings on it. It's an older car, probably from the 20s. Probably the early 20s through the 1930s. Paid $1.50 for it. I kind of stopped buying the planters because I didn't really know what the heck to do with them. But this one's definitely old. Like I said, no marks on it. What really caught my attention was the metal frame where the windshield would be. I remember many years ago, my grandmother had a really weird section in the family room where she had the common sitting area with the TV, and then she had all of her collectibles and dolls and advertising and stuff in one room, which used to scare the living hell out of me because these dolls had bug eyes. Anyway, some of the dolls that she had were sitting on an old modeled, was it a Model T? I can't remember. It was an old windshield, and what she did is she made it a shelf. So basically, let's say this is the windshield and it has pipes and everything. Many years ago, my grandparents used to do antiquing. Antiquing, quote unquote, because it wasn't really that old back then. And basically what it was like is the glass would be here, and then the frame for the windshield is what they hung on. And so she would put dolls on here, and It was a really neat piece. I didn't know what it was for the longest time until, she passed and I got into vintage and, that whole sort of thing. But yeah, oh yeah, this is really cool. The tire cover for the spare says, "Excuse my dust." Thought that was really neat. If you guys have any way of dating this, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your input. And as you can see, it needs to be cleared. Alright, for $1, I picked up a 1971 Malibu Barbie doll. She does have some 70s clothing on her, not her original stuff, but I thought she would do pretty well. I don't know if it's going to focus, so let me see if I can get it to do so. As you can see, some of her hair is missing, and somebody, don't know how long ago, cut this doll's hair. So that's going to detract from the value. A lot of the reissues of this doll from, I think, 2001, and I think to celebrate Barbie's 60th anniversary, it was reissued again. So these dolls, not very desirable like the ones from the early 60s, but I think in the condition she sits, because she has some original 70s clothing. Now, I didn't check to see if these were made for Barbie or if they were just handmade. And if we look on the tags here, or look on the inside of the shirt, this definitely looks like handmade 70s clothing, which is fine. I mean, people like the handmade stuff. But yeah, as she sits, I can probably get maybe $15. That's on a good day, I hope. These, oops, I didn't mean to do that. These were rather interesting. I've never seen anything like them before. They were $1.50 each. Let me see if I can angle this and get the glare out of the picture, so you guys can at least see them. So these are made by the artist Costanza. Either they're mid-century or they're from the early 60s. Now on the back, this is the mark that's on there. "We make in Denmark pictures for children all over the world. Sandgard, Delstike, Denmark." Now as you can see, I paid $1.50 each for them, and there's a sticker underneath it. So what I thought, or what you all don't know, is what my Salvation Army does is if items sit for a long period of time, I guess the team goes through and marks all certain colors to a different price. So what I did, out of curiosity, is I pulled one of the stickers off to see how much the green one was. And I found out that they originally had stamped at 50 cents, and I guess they must have thought that may have been a little too cheap. So they went ahead and put $1.50 on them. I didn't personally mind paying the $1.50 because my Salvation Army has great prices on pretty much everything that's in there, from electronics, lamps, housewares, clothing, you name it. Most things are very, very inexpensive there. So I was like, no big deal. So that's the girl, and I think this is the boy. So I think this is a matching set. I mean, kind of creepy, but kind of cool at the same time. Oh, these were 97 cents a piece. It says K, so I assume that's probably from Kmart. Sorry, something's about to fall here because I keep hitting it. And this one also has the same Sandgard, Delstike, Denmark. Now, I looked up the name Costanza, and I couldn't find anything like these on the internet, nor could I find anything like them on eBay. So I'm not exactly sure if these are either worth anything or if they were just mass-produced pieces. Again, I'm going to have to do some more research because I usually just do a quick glance. Sometimes when things are so cheap, it's kind of just like, go ahead and buy it, and then if it's not worth your time or effort to list, no big deal. Most things I do look up, but when it comes to something like this, when it's $3 for the set of 2 pictures, kind of a no-brainer. From the Goodwill outlet, this cost me, I think, $1 or something. I can't remember exactly. It was really cheap. Another piece going to Jenny. It's a Care Bears, I guess this was a handmade piece, or maybe it was something that... Oh no, it's definitely handmade, I think. just a pillow. I'm probably going to go ahead and spray this with some kind of germ killer, like fabric germ killer. Very clean, no stains, no water damage, no nothing on it. So again, that cost me just a little over $1 for 2 pieces. Thought you would definitely like that. Got 2 little pieces from that charity thrift store. Go ahead and adjust the tripod here so you guys can see better. So this was really cool. My mom thought it was too, because this kind of brought her back to her childhood. This is an A&W bear. It's an ornament. It was 50 cents, and it has a tag on it. Let's see if it'll come so you guys can read it. It says, A&W Great Root Bear. For decorative purposes only, this is not a toy, not for children 3 and under. A&W Restaurants, Inc., made in Korea. I would assume this is probably from the 70s or the 80s. I did look this up, and these don't go for a whole lot of money, but like not even $3, but I think it's cool, something you don't see every day, at least not for me anyway. He was there the last time I was there, and I didn't pick him up, and I thought, oh, he's probably going to be gone. But when I saw him there, I said, you know what, why don't I just go ahead and get him? Another awesome piece, I think this is for Christmas. This was also 50 cents. No marks on him, but I knew he was older. Gold, don't really go for that, but I thought this would look awesome with all of my old Christmas stuff. I thought he was really cool. Now, from that same thrift store, something I was kind of excited about when I saw it, because it's something I've never seen before. It's rather large. It's this girl right here. It's another doll. Don't really go for the dolls that much, but when I see something rather interesting, I go ahead and snatch it. Now, had this little tag right here not been on it, I wouldn't have known who it was. So this is what she looked like. She's definitely got a 70s hairstyle, kind of like a Farrah Fawcett kind of style to her. Let me go ahead and adjust this so you guys can see the name that's on here. I'm really thankful that this was on there. So let me zoom in so you guys can see. So this is a Nego toy. It says, I guess Candy 18 may have been the vendor's name. Lady Linda. Excuse the dirty shot if you guys think that that's bad. And it's stamped on the back here. 1978 Mego Corp, made in Hong Kong. So this is, let me zoom back out. So this pretty girl is Linda Christensen. She was a Bond girl in the 1950s, so I guess this doll must have been a commemorative piece to her. She was born in 1923. I can't remember exactly what year she passed away. But I brought it up to the desk. There was not a price on it. The only thing that was on there was this tag that was on her arm. So one of the associates brought it back to the person who was pricing stuff, and the person at the register was like, you know, we usually only charge like $1 for Barbie dolls or whatever. So she went back to ask the person who was running the store, and she came back up and said, we're going to go ahead and do $1. So I was like, I will take her. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to find her original clothing, but I love her nonetheless. I did look her up. One doll sold for $3, and the person wanted $10.40 to ship it. I think if I can find the right size box for this, if I was going to sell her, and I wrapped her up in some bubble wrap or paper, I could probably send it first class. So yeah, I thought she was really cool, despite the fact that she's nude. Her face did yellow or fade over time, as most of these dolls did. I like the 70s hair that she's got. So again, this is Linda Christensen. Either Linda Christian or Linda Christensen. One of the two. For a whole $1, I didn't think that was too much to ask. Alright, these came from the Goodwill outlet. I paid 50 cents for the media. This is from 1986. This is called Goddess, The Secret Lives of Marilyn Monroe by Anthony Summers, in really good condition. Didn't even know this book existed until I saw it. Got some water damage on the first few pages. Doesn't bother me too much because it doesn't really hold that much value. Now, there is a book that I am looking for, and I'm sure I've mentioned it to you all before. It's called The Secret Happiness of Marilyn Monroe, and it was written by Marilyn's first husband, James Dougherty. I saw one copy at an antique shop one day for 15 bucks. Did not think that was worth it. So I did not pick it up, and the next time I was there, it was gone. So somebody must have taken an interest in it. And that's okay. Somebody was probably really comfortable paying the $15. More power to them. I just thought that was too much to ask for a book. So I'm going to either wait for one to pop up on eBay for cheap, or I'll just continue looking for one. We'll see what happens. So this was another piece that I spotted. Now at my Goodwill outlet, what they do is, I guess they have bins. So here's what you do. You walk in. To your right, your far right, they have probably 6 rolling totes of stuff that they probably just did not put in the rolling table tote thingies. So, and they don't care that you dig in those, and they just let you know, hey, there might be broken glass in here, just be careful. And they don't, the employees in there are awesome. I love them. They're great. So I go ahead and I dig through these bins. Some of them are very heavy because there's lots of glass and pottery and just crap. But this is one thing that I like to find when I'm looking through stuff like that. I think this is made by Metalcraft. It was probably, it went with the Care Bear animal. So this is probably a Metalcraft piece. Has goddesses on it. I just thought that was cool. Originally, the Goodwill who had this was only asking 99 cents for it. Why someone didn't buy it, I don't know. Not something that everybody purchases anymore, I guess because the style is not really in, but, you know, I thought for less than $1, that was really well worth it to me, so I'll probably have it and I will put it in my own house someday. Last piece for this haul. Not old, it's from 2010, but I just thought it was a really cool piece. And sorry about that, camera stopped for whatever reason. So this is the 2010 television shows that changed our lives by People magazine from 1970 to 2010. So I'm sure some of these faces you'll recognize. We got Seinfeld, Dallas, that's Friends, Jenny Aniston's face is being covered. We've got Charlie's Angels, The Cosby Show, I'm sure. Oh, what's that show with Heather Locklear? I can't remember. It's from the early 80s. Anyway, whatever that show is, we've got, let's see, what else do I recognize here that's old? We've got Happy Days, The Golden Girls, of course. I love that show. Mary Tyler Moore. Well, let's flip through the book real quick, shall we? We've got Star Trek. Oh, this is Friends. That's, I guess, considered old now because that show started in 94. And I have the whole set. Seinfeld, of course. We've got the Mary Tyler Moore Show. American Idol. Not that old. The Cosby Show. We've got MASH. Dallas. All in the Family, Maude, who I have not watched yet. I have not yet seen Maude. I know probably she was just as vicious as Dorothy Zbornak. I don't know. Survivor, David Letterman, Oprah, Saturday Night Live, that was 1975. CNN, The Sopranos, The Simpsons, Sesame Street, MTV, that was big in the 70s and 80s. The Real World, cult classics, Star Trek. Here we go. This lady was just in the news. I can't remember what it was for. And there's Leonard Nimoy. I'm kind of sad that he's gone. That guy lived forever. The X-Files. I think they rebooted that show. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that was a 90s thing. Pee-wee's Playhouse. Freaks and Geeks, that looks like that was either 70... Oh no, it was 1980. Twin Peaks. The Larry Sanders Show. Never heard of him. Oh, yes, The Twilight Zone. Who doesn't remember that? I've seen these before. Love them. Oh, this is fashion. Is that Joan Collins? Let me tell you something. This woman is seriously a beauty icon. She looks great for her age. She looks good for her age. In this book, it says she's 77. I think right now she's probably 85, 86. And she still looks good for her age. Oh, here we go. The Dukes of Hazzard and the beautiful Catherine Bach. Miami Vice. Crockett and Tubbs. The one thing I think about when I hear those two names is the scene, one of those scenes in The Golden Girls kitchen, and Blanche asks Dorothy if she's still upset with her, and she goes, "No, I'm upset because Crockett and Tubbs are wearing darker colors." Yeah, that was fun. Here we go, the Mod Squad. This is all fashion stuff. I think that's Morgan Fairchild in the 80s. I don't know what the heck was wrong, but the 80s, I don't know what you all were thinking. I'm sorry, hair just was awful. Guilty Pleasures may have been that show I was thinking about, because there's Heather Locklear right there, up top, next to... I don't even know who that is. Melrose Place. We've got Beverly Hills 90210. I never watched that show. Luke and Laura. There's Larry Hagman. I don't know what that is. Johnny Carson's Farewell. That was all. I'm sure that was sad because he was on the air for years. Just a bunch of really interesting stuff from... Yeah, there's The Fonz, Henry Winkler, Bob Newhart. We got Three's Company, Charlie's Angels, of course, another very iconic show. I'm sure it was only good in the first 2 seasons when Farrah was on it. The 80s. Saint Elsewhere, Moonlighting, Murphy Brown, 30-something, Katie and Allie. That's so 90s. Everybody Loves Raymond. I'm sure that 70s show is in here too. I've heard of this show only from FBE. Other than that, I never knew about this. Aha, another one of my favorite sitcoms from the 80s, Roseanne. Lost, 30 Rock. The Bachelor. Spare me. Never crazy about this show either. The Brady Bunch. There is Florence Henderson. Oh God, what's this guy's name? He played Mike Brady. I can't remember his name. Robert something? I think was his name. I wonder if it says in here. Robert Reed. I knew it. Robert Reed. Saved by the Bell, Leave It to Beaver. Oh man, this book is just full of awesome memories. It's not a very valuable book as it's been on the newsstand before, and these magazines don't really go for a whole lot. I thought 25 cents was a great price, and I love flipping through stuff like this and reading about the different shows. So I thought that was really cool. That is my haul. So let me pop right back in front of the camera real quick. So what did you think? I think I did pretty darn well, and I think I'm going to be making some pretty decent money as well. If you have any information to share about any of the items that I showed you all, please feel free to leave it in the comments down below. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, before I wrap up this video, I want to let you all know that on Sunday, June 2nd, I believe, Rise and Grind Picker, Shane and I will be going live and doing an hour live show on his channel. I'll link it down below so you guys can go ahead and check that out. We will be going live at 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm looking forward to it. And that's all I have to share with you all today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like to follow me on other social media platforms via Instagram, the link for that is down below. If you'd like to see what I find before I make the videos, that's where you go. Also, links to my eBay page are down below as well as also with my Facebook. Don't really go on that very much, so if I don't get your friend request or the comment you leave on my personal page, I apologize. And that's everything I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching.